So if you're watching this video, that means that you are ready to begin the work for Capitulo 9, Chapter 9. Before you do that, though, I'd like you to do something for me. And this is what I want you to do. I'd like you to give yourself a pat on the back. You have made it through the first 2 chapters. You have made it through the first exam. You are 1/3 of the way to completing this intensive summer session. And you are all doing great. I think it's fantastic that you're sticking with it. This is not the easiest task in the world, but it is such a great way to learn a language. Once you have gone through this 6 weeks of intensive Spanish, you are going to remember and retain so much. More so probably even than you would learning it over a full semester. So now we're ready to move on, right? Capítulo 9, vamos a viaje. We're going to be talking about travel. We have a few new grammar points in this chapter. First, you will be learning the uses of the prepositions por y para. These are words that in English we use the word for, but they have their own distinct uses in Spanish. Please take time to read carefully through the section of the chapter that deals with por y para, so you know when to use which. There is also a great deal of information on this in the module, some links to videos for it, and it is covered in the chapter PowerPoints. So you have lots of resources to help you become familiar with when to use which of the prepositions. We will also be learning how to form adverbs using the addition of mente at the end of words. This is similar to what we do in English. When you want to turn a word such as slow into an adverb, so you want to use it to modify, say, a verb, you would say slowly. You add the ly. It's very similar in Spanish. You could take the word, for example, lento, and make it lentamente to turn it into an adverb. As far as verbs go, we're going to be dealing with a new verb formation with the subjunctive. Up until now, we have been dealing with indicative verbs in Spanish, or verbs that express real situations. The subjunctive is a verb formation in Spanish that is used to express hypothetical situations that are not real. It is used to express wishes, to express doubts, and it, in general, is used in a dependent clause preceded by que. To conjugate verbs in the subjunctive, the general rule is you start with the present tense yo form and move on from there for the present subjunctive. There are a few tricky irregular verbs in the subjunctive, but those are covered very clearly in the chapter, both within your chapter in Arriba and also in the chapter PowerPoints. I have included a great deal of information in the modules, in the Tarea modules on subjunctive. There's also information in the PowerPoints, in the chapter. And though some students find this tricky, I think we will cover it very clearly. And we will work through it, and you will all get it. It will be fine. If you have questions on it, please keep in mind that questions on something like the subjunctive are ones that probably many students have. So please create a thread in the forums, and we can hold a discussion about using this verb formation. Vocabulary-wise, like I said, we're going to be talking about travels. Taking a trip, traveling, making plans, going on vacation. This is great vocabulary to be learning in a summer session when many of you are fitting in vacations along with taking classes. And finally, in the culture section, we will be dealing with the South American countries on the Caribbean. or Venezuela y Colombia. At the end of this chapter, we will be reaching the midterm. We have 6 chapters. We'll be done with the 3rd one. So I would appreciate if you would do a couple of things. One is to take the midterm survey, just to see where you're at with the class, what type of time you're putting into it, how you are finding this class. The second thing is you will need to be taking your midterm oral exam. You will go to the wiki link. I have posted a link there with times that I'm available to do the oral exams, and you will sign up for a time. The times available are at the end of this week for this chapter, so on Monday and Tuesday of chapter 9, and I also have the most time slots available on the Thursday where we're going into chapter 10. Be sure to sign up for a time, register with Skype, send me a Skype request so that we can get going with that. If you cannot make any of the times available, please email me as soon as possible so we can arrange an alternate time. I have some flexibility in my schedule, so we will work with that and make sure everyone gets their exam in. Again, if you have any questions, you can post it in the forum, or you can email me, or you can email Dorotea. We are here to support you, and let's get going with chapter 9. Buena suerte.